Hey MSM fam, it's been a minute, thanks for still watching my videos. It's been a while and I just kind of took a break from MSM just because there wasn't much new content and I didn't want to bore you guys with kind of like the same videos over and over again. But I think today we just got like a bunch of new things. Like we got this funky like EXP system. I don't know what they're gonna do with that. We've got the new link skills from our skills tab, and we have the Legion system. I didn't play long enough in PCMS to play with Legion, but I think this allows us to actually build our heroes in different ways and slightly stronger than the maple tree. So without taking up too much time to get back into it, let's hop into how Legion actually works. This will be a basic walkthrough of kind of how to at least place your heroes. So here's my Legion screen. I actually don't have that many alts. I still have like 1600 like total levels. So I still have like the max, I think I have the maxed out like skill stats that it gives. So that's pretty nice. Here I am, I'm actually clicking on those. You can see like Fizz Def, Boss Def, Speed Increase, and Crit Rate. You can actually click on those and reassign them to what you actually prefer. Like if you look at the outer borders, the borders actually show some like stats, I think, that are fixed, so you can't change them. So right now I am building for a SF kind of like gear build. You can see here I'm kind of struggling with like how to actually place the block into that square. So the trick to placing that block into the square is that, do you see how in my block there's actually like this like icon, there's like this square within that like block. In order to actually make your block assignment work, one of those blocks must touch one of the that tiny little square in the center. You see how that purple one is within the center? So if it's in the center, you can now start like building on top of that block. But if you place that like colored block outside of that square, you won't be able to assign that like block. Once you assign the first block, the trick, or really like the guide to go through how you want to be assigning your characters, is that you'll want to assign the characters with the highest CP. And this CP is not the same CP that we normally talk about in like SF and expeditions and just regular SF. You can see here in the character tab that each character has a rank, like in this case it's A, and then it has like a number that represents like the Legion CP. I'll go into how the Legion CP is calculated later once we talk about the raid section. But in this one, just keep a category and like a mental note of which characters that you have that have the highest CP, meaning that like this one I have like 2.9 million. And I want to place those onto this map. And once you've unlocked the section from that first square, you can kind of place the blocks however you see fit, meaning like you want to place the blocks heavily into sections where you want that specific stat. So you can kind of see I reposition my stat to have like speed increase, jump increase, and crit rate near the bottom, because eventually I want to unlock the EXP increase for this particular build. You can see that I'm a synergy grid 3 on the bottom right. So I'm going to slowly start building towards the EXP increase once I can actually unlock that section. So this is actually my like second or third time or fourth time through building this block. My first one was like really like bad. I didn't actually utilize the whole space. I didn't like grab as many stats as I could. I was placing the wrong heroes. So it is a little bit like confusing at first. But as you can see here, once you figure out that when you click on assign energy grid, you just start like putting those colored blocks within that first square, and then you kind of get like these stats. I think I went too quickly over like the conquest stats, but I just wanted to show you the raid section. Like when you apply these heroes into that like square, what happens is the top 6 characters are actually selected by automatically, and they come here and they actually fight this giant raid boss. And in the help section, as you saw when we're in the raid section, you can click on the info button and you can take a look at Legion raid. Earlier when I talked about combat power, the combat power here is actually just some math equation of your hero's level plus the star force that it has. So it generates a CP number based off of that. Here I am switching back to my grid 1. This grid 1, as you saw, is pretty small. This is my first build, like just poking around, figuring it out. And you can see that it's much smaller than I would like it to be. Like it kind of like spills over into jump increase. It has a little bit of speed. In this one, because it's my DPS build, I really want to build for like crit, speed, eventually break into fizz damage and crit damage. Because I think out of this board, that will probably give me the most like damage at the end. So what we're going to do together is I'm going to take off all the blocks that I placed, and then I'm going to place them starting from scratch. And this time following the tips such as like placing them effectively, choosing heroes that have the highest damage. And you can see here I'm already thinking like, oh, I don't want so I have one block that will overspill to the other side. I don't really care about accuracy. What I'm going to do is then optimize it so I'll get like another stat that I do kind of want. Jump is kind of cool, so out of all of them I'd take jump over like the other defense stuff. So keep in mind that you still have to connect the blocks so that they touch kind of like closely to your first block, so they can all branch out. And the tip is that the higher your rank for your character goes, the bigger the block becomes. As you can see here, my heroes aren't really like high level, they're not very far ahead. They might have some like star force just because I wanted to like get them to 140 or 120 or whatever the thing was. So the blocks I have are kind of small, and hopefully your blocks are much bigger if you spent more time in leveling them. So here we are. Like you can see this time just by looking at the placement, I'm covering significantly more of this block, and I can place a total of 10 characters. And there it goes, that was my 10th one, and I think those are my highest Legion CP heroes. So now I have 4.8% speed and 6% crit rate. I'm going to compare this to what I had before. So if we take a look at my Synergy Batch 2, I actually only had 3% speed, 6% crit. So I actually gained 1.8% speed and I lost 1.2% jump, which means my new placement on Synergy Grid 1 versus Synergy Grid 2 is slightly better, like at least towards the stats that I want. So I get to walk faster and my crit rate is high. And here is my SF one. I think I'm still kind of wasting like stats on the jump, and I'm gonna work on that and kind of just achieve what I did on the DPS one. So here's the section where like you can come here, you can like upgrade your Legion rank. Upgrading your Legion rank will allow you to place more Legion members. So yeah, so this was kind of like a short walkthrough to the how to Legion. If you guys have any questions, comments, or whatever, you guys know how to use YouTube. So leave a comment, say hi, and it's good to talk to you guys again. Later.